Hello and welcome everybody. This is Margarita Crystal Lotus, and in this hangout, we're going to talk about chakra healing and what chakra healing is. And this is the first episode of our series of hangouts on this topic. And today we're going to start with the root chakra. And here today I have with me my guest, Rosanna Martella. Say hello,
Hi.
Yes. And I'm seeing that this could be a really interesting series to follow, and we're going to do one chakra in each of these hangouts. And if for those who doesn't know who I am an intuitive life and business mentor who helps stressed and overwhelmed women to get over their emotional issues and also see their career flourish. And Rosanna, can you introduce yourself as well?
Yes. Hi. I am the owner of the healthmode.com. I am a sensitive intuitive with 20 years of experience in various alternative healing modalities, including health and nutritional counseling, energy work, acupressure, shiatsu massage, distant healing, and releases of emotional blockages. I also do EFT and EFC, and I also specialize in strengthening the health of people with gluten intolerance and celiac disease.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So why would you watch this series? And the reason is this: the chakra system is what runs our life. It's the mechanism for running our system, our emotions, our thoughts. So the more you know about these subtle levels of ourselves, that can have help you to have another tool to solve some of the problems that we have in life. So I want to ask you, Rosanna, what is the chakra system? Can you give a little description or definition to it?
Yes. Well, first of all, we have an energy body that it's outside of our physical body, and it's pretty big. It extends few feet away from our physical body, and it is all colorful, and it has many layers, and it has the colors of the rainbow because we have light within ourselves. So the energy body is connected to our physical body through the chakras. The chakras are energy centers that are connected to our physical body through the spinal column. And each chakra is connected to our main glandular system. And because of this interaction between the chakras and the physical body, that's how we are able to experience life outside of us.
So you're breaking up there a little bit. Can you repeat that? You broke up a little bit in the last sentence.
Well, that's why we can connect with our external body, with the things outside of ourselves, through the chakra and the aura. Because the chakras are are energy centers that collects the energy of the universe, which is called prana, and collects it into themselves, and then they vibrate at different vibrational frequencies. And the more they vibrate, the faster they vibrate, the healthier and the better we feel.
So
So
can I also summarize that in this way that like it's like we're eating different levels of energies in our surrounding, and the chakras are the transfer station, let's say, to that level of where that chakra is. And so
yeah,
I wasn't clear. Now, why do we have the different levels of different chakras?
um, there is different levels because the chakra system, it's um, it starts when we're first born, or probably even within our mother's belly. It's the part of our being that connects us to Mother Earth, and it connects us to the superconscious, to the that part of us that never leaves the God, and the and so within that, those two polarities, those two extremes, that it's from the first chakra to the crown chakra, there is all these other chakras, which they all connect with our interior organs in a way that is with vibration. Now, the chakras absorb the energy of the universe, but it also depends from how we feel. The amount of energy that we absorb can be more or less. Because if we're happy and we have a goal and we are working towards something that it makes us happy to do, then we absorb more energy and our chakras vibrate at a higher pitch. So then our color of our aura and our chakras are very vivid and strong because of this vibration. But if we are not happy and we're depressed, the chakras don't vibrate as fast, so don't absorb as much light and energy from the universe, and so they become sluggish and grayish looking, and the colors are not as vibrant, and we're not happy,
Yeah,
and
that's a
we
very
don't feel
important.
good.
Yeah, that's a very important point, that it is our emotional state, the way how we feel about ourselves. We can actually affect the chakra system very much by adopting a new ways of seeing things and learning how to choose our emotions. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes. It is always better to be happy, to maintain a higher energy field of vibrations, so that way we don't become unhappy, and it all depends from what I see. It's from using the heart instead of the mind helps, because the heart has also brain cells, and the heart chakra is the biggest chakra we have in our body, and has many thousands of brain cells that they're not heart cells. And that's why in a lot of tradition and a lot of religions, they tell you to think with your heart, because it is within the heart that we can become compassionate and we can have joy, because the heart is the place of joy.
Okay, so today we are going to discuss the root chakra. So I also am very glad you mentioned the heart, because that's the boss. I think that is the central computing unit that we have, and if we don't connect in our heart, then we're missing a big part of our life. And especially if you're in the head, right? You're thinking with your logical mind.
Right, right.
So let's go into the first chakra, the root chakra. What is the root chakra all about?
The root chakra is at the bottom of our body, near the coccyx, and it connects us to Mother Earth, and it gives us stability. It's our survival chakra because it connects us to the earth, and it gives us self-preservation, and it is very important, but it gets blocked by fear.
So what kind of fear would, what, can you give an example of that?
Well, the fear of not being able to survive in these difficult times. I noticed that there is a lot of people that they're completely afraid of living right now with all the cost of living and the taxes and all of that that are escalating, and we don't feel that that the governments and uh, the times are very getting difficult to be and to be happy with what we have right now, because everything is becoming more expensive. So there is a lot of people unhappy and afraid that they can't make it, they can't survive. A lot of people are losing their homes, and so that it's a very deep seated problem that is going on right now with most of the world, because we're into a tremendous change. A lot of big corporations are collapsing and closing up shop, and so there is a lot of turmoil that it goes on, and that it's what it keeps us in this fear of not knowing what's going to happen next.
Yeah. So do we have a solution for that? How can we affect our root chakra? What can we do? What's your suggestion of what we can do to improve the root chakra and open it up so we can actually deal with those problems?
Well, we could try to keep the root chakra more connected to Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is the mother that it will never leave us, and it's always full of giving us whatever, everything that we can have is from Mother Earth. So not be afraid, and walking on the ground with our shoes helps us to connect us more to Mother Earth. And if we go camping, it's wonderful to sleep on the ground. That connects us to Mother Earth, and it makes our root chakra more grounded, more strong. But there is also other problems with the first chakra, because the first chakra starts to get developed between the time that we're still in the womb until we're 12 months old. So it's connected to our psychological growth, the motor development of and how do we learn to set boundaries at that age, and there is a need, those needs that we need to connect with, and it's the trust and safety and the right to be here on Earth. You know, that it's what it gets developed at that age. And but there is a lot of traumas that will block the first chakra, and depending what is going on with around us during the time that we're so little and we have no filters, so we absorb everything and all the vibrations that are going around us at that moments of our life. So there is the birth trauma, that it's a big change for a fetus to go from the mother's belly and being completely protected in the womb to coming out and with pain and being handled by strangers, don't feel mother's vibration close to them, to us, and that it's already a big trauma. Then they clothe us with clothes that we've never had clothes on. We were into this beautiful fluids, warm fluid inside the mother's belly, and here it is. Now we've got clothes on. We have to breathe on our home, and so that is a big change. Then there is that separation from the mother, that it must be extremely difficult for a baby, because that's all he knew until the moment he was born was mother vibration. And then is removed from mommy at that point. And in these hospitals, you know, they put them in little containers and take them away from mother for a certain period of time until it's feeding time. So that is not good for the baby also. So there is this kind of feeling of abandonment that it's very, very deep within us. So that's why we feel abandoned by our friends at times, from our lovers, and from the government that it's abandoned us, and all of this stuff that feeds the fear that we have as growing ups.
Yeah, that's powerful, because if we still have that fear, if we still hold that fear active and not dealing with it, it's going to come back as, yeah, the government did that, or that other person did that, but the fear is really inside of us. Don't you agree about that?
Yes, it does. Then there is the other trauma that it's about feeding. Like, we can be either breastfed, or we can be fed with formula, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's better to be breastfed, of course, because there is a lot of good, uh, better stuff in mother's milk. But it's also, while the mother is feeding the baby, how she feels is she's under stress for other things that are going on in the family. And if there is stress while the mother is feeding the baby feels those negative vibrations. So this trauma of feeling like, oh, well, food is not good for me, or there is not enough, or whatever it is that the mother is vibrating at the moment, the baby feels it and puts it into that basic chakra. There is also babies that are neglected, and that it's another difficult thing for the baby, not feeling touched too much and not feeling loved and accepted by the mother and the other people within the family. And then there is worse things, you know, like physical abuse, or there is also the possibility that the baby gets sick and it needs a surgery. And there is babies that need surgery at this time, especially with all the chemicals that mothers eat during their pregnancy, that it could affect it's developing. So there is that problem too, that it could be a big trauma to be put under anesthesia and being cut up and have an operation. So all of this, it's also, there is other stuff like inherit trauma. There is trauma that maybe the mother doesn't even know that is passing on to the baby, but it's trauma from the ancestors, from problems that the ancestors had, like going through the trauma of wars and poverty and you know, racial persecution and all that kind of stuff that the baby could have at the moment of birth already into
that's like horrendous. I mean, we have to be really strong as a newborn to actually survive. Don't you agree? Like, I
definitely.
mean, we know about the sudden death syndrome or something like that. It's very easy to check out. And so,
Yeah,
if you made it until the adult years, you must be very strong.
definitely. It's it's a difficult thing to be a child. It's very, very hard to adapt to the laws and the regulations of this world that we created. And there is also all the vibrations that go on during the time of our first year alone, you know, with the basic chakra. So this thing about it's important to be grounded. So It's also good to put the baby like outside near, on the grass, sitting on the grass and playing with the toys to help the baby to develop this attachment to the earth and this grounding to Mother Earth that it is so vital and so important. Um, it's the it's important to build this foundation. It's almost like building a house. You need to make a foundation that it's solid in order to build the rest of the house on top. If we don't have a building that has a solid foundation, when we're putting up weight on top, the building will collapse.
That is very, very important. I'd like to really emphasize that.
Yes.
So if somebody is in the head all the time, it's not healthy.
Right.
Really come from the ground. That's a great point, Rosanna.
Yes, thank you. Because, well, I'm an architectural designer, so I know about buildings. But I do have this idea that it is so important to have a foundation that it's solid. And so if the baby doesn't get this solid foundation, cannot build the rest of the life on top of it, which comes in with the second chakra, the third chakra, as the baby is growing. This is the basic, the most important piece where to build a healthy, strong building on top, a healthy, strong life on top of it.
Yeah, so how do you actually come back in an adult level of, I mean, having grown up
well, that's the thing. When the first chakra is not developed, it reflects on each other other chakras, the chakra on top. So it reflects into the sexuality, personal power, relationship, communication. All of that, it's blocked by fear. If there is fear in the first chakra, we learn as little babies to be afraid all the time, then all the other chakras are affected by it. And that it's difficult to understand for a little baby, but also for growing up, that that is where it all begins. And as we are growing and become adults, these fears are become so much embedded in our subconscious mind and on our first chakra that we don't even know they're there. And because of that, we have dysfunctional lives and we have no clue that that's where it begins.
Right.
This process of dysfunction. And it's almost like a cocoon that it's embedded in our energy field, that when it's not, it's got, this cocoon has its own vibration, okay? And this cocoon of fear or cocoon of some other trauma that we had at that stage in our life gets embedded into the energy field. And it sits there until something with the same vibration happens to us. And at that moment that vibration comes in within our energy field, it kind of triggers off that cocoon, and it puts this energy open up from the cocoon, and it brings out the whole system of pain and agony and hurt and fear that transmits to all the other chakras. And so that's how we feel that things go over and over. It's like a wheel that the same stuff always happens to us.
Yeah. So it's a repetitive pattern that that if you had a relationship that didn't work out and then you get another person in your life that does the same thing, it's a recurring pattern, right?
Yes, yes,
So
it is.
what do you suggest to start with for a client who have really some issues in the root chakra?
Well, for myself, I tried to use words that will make me feel that I reach those points that I am afraid of, or there is those phrases that will make me feel better about repeating. And and you also have to know what are your blockages in the first chakra, because if you don't even know that there is blockages in the first chakra, how do you know what to think about and what to repeat? You know, it's good to do EFT, which is the tapping solution, which it helps to touch places in our face and in our upper body, that it connects us to our subconscious mind. So while we repeat these phrases, they are connected to that part of us that it's deep into the subconscious and into the aura system. But if we don't even know we we don't know how to access those fear, or we don't even are able to understand what are those fears, so then we can even put it in words to be doing the tapping on it. So it is important to go within us, and because it's within ourselves that we can find answers. And so we can start with a regular tapping, thinking of a baby that maybe was crying and the mother got upset, and so start with that, because it happens to every baby that mommy is tired one day and the baby is screaming. That could help, and start with words associated with that kind of scenario, and then feel within us what other words are coming from our subconscious, write them down, and then do EFT with those words. And then the process can just continue on that way. As we use those words and those phrases, other stuff was going to start to come up. Sometimes I've noticed throughout the day, maybe I'm driving some way and my mind is going through a process of thinking of something, and all of a sudden I feel this sensation that is coming in from the things that I was thinking. And it's like, wow, that's what it's connected to. And so it was like the first time that this happened to me, it was such a revelation, because I realized, wow, that was an automatic pilot. I didn't even know it was there, and so here it is. I found another level, a deeper level of something that it was bothering me that I was not even aware of.
Well, that's a very important thing, to actually notice that it's something going on. So that's maybe the first step to
yes.
actually gain more consciousness about what your issues are.
Yes.
So we're nearing our time to the end. What is the closing remarks of the root chakra and what we can do with it?
I don't know if I have the answer completely of a close. We have to develop this downward current, that it goes from the top chakra, the crown chakra, downward. Because if we're too much in our heads, then we're not grounded. We're not supported by a foundation. And so there is this upward energy going up, and there is a downward energy going down. But if we're too much on the upper chakras, then we don't have a good flow of downward energy, because our body has these two polarities, the basic chakra and the crown chakra. They're the two opposite polarities. One has got the upward energy and the other one's got the downward energy. Well, we have to to have a balance between these two. And this downward energy has to be very solid and very grounded in order for us to at least access whatever it is that we want to achieve in life.
That's a very
So,
good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so was there anything more you wanted to say about that?
no, the other thing is to try to be happy even in difficult times, because as while we're happy and we're trying to find some laughing about even the difficult times, that helps us to develop a higher energy field, a much more vibrational field, that it keeps us away from trouble.
Yeah, yeah. And you can also ask for help. If you watch this and think, what shall I do? I don't really know what to do. Ask for help. Ask for help.
Yeah,
There's
I,
many healers and many therapists or even friends you can discuss with. So that is maybe some starting points for you to heal also.
yeah, I have that website. It's thehealthmodes.com, that I have consultation forums if anybody would like to try my help. It's a way to contact me.
Yes, that's very important. And so we're going to mention it on the video here after with the website. And until next time, we're going to start to talk about the second chakra in the next episode. So until then, try to see what we're talking about here and try to tune in with your own body and your own root chakra and see what you need to do. And thank you for watching.
Thank you.